So installing required tools. So we learned as part of that one, we need the VS Code, we need the Python, then Python extensions, then Azure functions. Those all things we found the links we found inside this document, we found it. This is the official Microsoft documentation. Tomorrow any versions are changed, anything is happened, so it will be updated. Okay. Then second we went for creating a function app. So this is a free. Okay, we are going to create this one from the free services. We created this Azure function app we created. Then inside the VS Code, we created hello HTTP trigger we created. Now this hello HTTP trigger we tested by using the browser. Okay, inside the browser we pasted the URL and we observed how it is working. And also this HTTP trigger URL we used inside the Azure Data Factory, Azure function activity we have it, there we given and we captured the output into one variable also we captured. That's what exactly we did yesterday. Now today I want to use Azure function for the purpose of ETL. For the purpose of ETL. So we have the experience of doing the transformations in many places. For example, we started doing the transformations inside the data flows. We started. For example, one of the transformation is called as, let's say, derived column. One new column, we are trying to create it. That one we did using data flows. Then second, we did same thing inside the stored procedure, we did it. Now, same thing we want to do inside the Azure functions, we want to do it today. Okay, derived column transformation, we're trying to do it. Not only derived column, you want to do something union, something filtering, whatever you want. It's the end of the day, you're writing the Python language you're writing. How much strong you're in the Python language, that much effectively we can do all the transformations, we can able to do it. But today, I'll show you how to configure derived column inside the Azure functions. We're going to see it. Now, if you go for this fourth step, whatever we have, create HTTP trigger to do the ETL using Python. What we are saying is go to again VS Code in the workspace menu, click on Azure functions, create one more function. Already we have one function, HTTP underscore trigger welcome, something like that. We are trying to create one more function we are creating. This one we are going to use for the purpose of ETL. So if you observe your function VS Code, then this is called as your workspace. So this is your workspace. Now in this workspace, we already have here one function already available. If you go and try to observe, um, expand this Azure for students, that's what ours. Then function app. Under the function app, we are seeing here, one of the function is already available that is called as HTTP trigger, then welcome, we have it. This is what we completed in previous class. Now similar to this one more thing I am looking here, HTTP underscore trigger underscore ETL I am looking. So to create that kind of function, you need to click on this one and create one more function. You have to create it. Okay, click on this one. Then we can observe we have the option called as create function. Click on this create function. It's asking what type of trigger you want it. So we are looking for HTTP trigger again. So select here HTTP trigger. Then add HTTP trigger function to an existing file. So this is our existing file. In the same file, we can create a number of functions. We can create it. Okay, in the same file, you can create a number of functions. We can able to create it. Okay, now we are trying to say as yes, add to the existing file. Then it's asking the name of the trigger, what you want it. So provide here HTTP trigger, then underscore ETL, we are trying to provide it. Okay, in the ETL also, we are exclusively doing here derived column transformation we are trying to understand here. That's what the purpose of this trigger we are doing it. Now we provide here name, then press enter. That is asking the uh, access. So we are giving as anonymous access. Then that's it. We completed now creating one more function we completed. If you observe this one carefully, here this is previous one. HTTP trigger welcome. This DEF is a function which is the previous one. Minimize this one. This total is minimized. Now we have now second function. This is also I'm minimizing just for our understanding. Now tell me inside our file now how many functions are we have inside our file now? How many functions we have? One is HTTP trigger welcome function. Second, we have here HTTP trigger ETL derived column function. We have it. So total, we have two functions we have inside our functionapp.py file. This is our main file actually. Okay, now whatever we got the by default code, this is the default code we received. We are not interested on this default code. Our goal is to do some kind of ETL. I want to do it, right? So that purpose, I provide here some code. Let us go and try to copy paste it. We create the function. We did this all these 2 lines. We did it. Click on HTTP trigger. Add HTTP trigger function to an existing file. Name it as ETL. Select anonymous. Change ETL code as shown below. Yeah, this line is important. Change ETL code as shown below. Below logging.info line, delete all the code and add below code. Below logging.info. That means this is what the logging.info. Below this one, whatever we have the code, everything we're asking to delete it. Everything. So we selected and we deleted everything. Now under the logging.info, now nothing is available. Let's go and try to add this total code. We're copying this code, then we're trying to paste here. Enter, then paste here. Now we added here. Now observe what is exactly this code is doing. First line we have here something called as connection string. Connection string. This connection string is a if you observe the parameters whatever we have here, you can notice I have B2410 ASDB server. This is nothing but your Azure SQL database server. If you want, you can verify by going to the portal. So we are going to the portal, then we are trying to select our database. So Azure SQL database. Now in this database, this is our database. How I got that connection string is if you go here, like security, in the security, sorry, where you came, server you came. One moment, let us go for server. Let us go for server. This is database, yeah, server, yeah. Server, if you go, then we have here security, then inside the security, data management settings, access control. Where we can copy this connection string. Link is directly available. One moment. So this is server. Either it should be available in the server or it should be in the database. Yeah. Here, I think database only. Okay, I went for wrong thing. Server I went. Database only, we have direct option that is called as connection strings. I was searching in the security, but it is there under the settings, it is available. Connection strings, go for here. There you can observe, we have the connection string ado.net, okay, and we have JDBC connections, ODBC connections like that we have, right? In that we taken ODBC connection, we taken. So that has all the information like your server name is what, this is what our server name, and we have here our database
Professor,
name is what, yeah.
I'm having a doubt actually. So it's related to the ODBC driver. So in my SQL server, it's showing like you didn't have any ODBC driver 18. So here there is a link, right? Download ODBC
Yeah.
driver. So from here I can download, right?
Yes, download and install it. Yes.
Okay, okay. Because I was searching on the online actually, where it
Hmm.
is. So it was giving me some
Yeah.
codes to
All
install
all
the
the
SQL
dependents
code.
things are available here only. Suppose you want to use JDBC, then you have to have the JDBC driver. If you
Uh,
want to go with the ODBC, then you should have the ODBC driver. That link is available here. You need to go this link and download and install it.
Yeah, I
Okay,
was
right.
searching on the internet in the Stack
Okay.
Overflow. They were giving me some kind of SQL code, but it was not
Mm.
working. So I was having this
Okay.
doubt from here I can install or not. It will
Correct.
work.
From here on you can install. Now
Okay.
user ID they provided password. As of now, it is available as a provision, but it's not really password. This password we need to update it. What is our database password is there? The database password we need to update it. Same this link, whatever available in the corner, we have the copy button. We copied it. Okay, and we are trying to paste here. Already pasted. I think you can notice. You can notice. I already changed the password also. You can see here the password also I changed as what exactly password. If you think like, okay, actually in reality, we'll not provide password like this directly. We'll keep this password inside one test file. Okay, the test file, the test file will provide the only for you we have the access, no one else able to see that file. That kind of test file you are going to maintain. The test file we are going to read it. The test file we are going to read it, and we are going to encrypt that one. There is an encrypt package is available. We are going to take the encrypt package and we'll pass that encrypt we are going to pass here. Okay, that is one story is available. We'll go for that level later. Now, directly providing password will not agree tomorrow whenever we are trying to deploy it. We have to um, encrypt and we have to pass here. Okay, if you are not encrypting, then whoever having this code, they knows your database password also. That is danger, right? That is the reason we have to encrypt and we have to provide it. Anyhow, this connection string now we got the clarity. We have the server name, we have the database name, we have the port number, using what port number we need to communicate it. Then we have the user ID and we have the password, and encrypt also we are saying as yes, and trust the server is equal to S. These all things default options we got from the our portal. We have to copy and we have to paste it. Only thing you have to change is the password, you have to change it. That's it. Then this line is you have the freedom. This line you have the freedom. Whatever code you want to write the SQL code, you can write it. In my case, just simply I'm pulling all the columns from the DBO schema EMP table. I am pulling all the columns. Then I'm trying to making a connection, and you can notice something. 5ODBC is some yellow line is came in the bottom and saying as 5ODBC is not defined. Okay, this is due to in the top you can see the modules, all yellow lines we are seeing, right? That means these all functions are not available inside our virtual environment. Okay, so we need to keep these things to be installed inside our virtual environment so that these yellow lines will be disappears. Time being, this 5ODBC try to import here. I want that one. We are using it, right? So we need to import it. Otherwise, in the runtime, we are going to get the error. So it's a 5ODBC. Okay. sorry, PyODBC. Now, as expected, here also we are getting the warning kind of thing. So this is not available, this module is not available, so it's showing this kind of warning. Import PyODBC could not be resolved because it's not there. Okay, we'll try to install it, that's one, don't worry. Now, at this point of time, as we imported this one here yellow line, we got it disappeared. Then we got here, next is cursor. Cursor we are trying to open so that it can able to hold the result, it can able to hold it. It's an empty bucket kind of thing. We're trying to open one cursor. Then we are trying to create here a data frame by executing the SQL, whatever query is available, query we are substituting. This query need to execute inside this connection. The connection is available. This connection is available here. This connection we created using this connection string. These are the connection string we passed it. The resultant things we are trying to store into the data frame, we are trying to store it. And PD, we got here some kind of yellow line again. So the PD is not defined, it's saying go and try to define the PD. So we are trying to say as a import, we are using the data frame as pandas as PD. Okay, now so that your PD will be yellow line will be disappears. Now, once you have the entire data frame, we are holding the commission column. We are holding inside this data frame. We have the commission column. Inside this commission column, if any nulls are available, that nulls we are trying to replace with 0. Now, my commission column is free from all the nulls. Wherever we have the null is replaced with the 0. That's what this line of code is doing. Then we are trying to create a new column called as total salary. Then in this total salary, we are putting here salary plus commission, both we are adding, and we are trying to create here one new column, we are creating it. This is exactly equal to our derived column transformation. Derived column transformation. Okay, derived column transformation in the data flow, whatever we did it, same thing it is. We're adding salary and commission. The result we are trying to store into the total salary, we are storing it. Then we are trying to create one more table. We're trying to create one more table. Let's see here for index comma row in df dot iterate rows. So one by one row we are trying to iterate it. Okay. Then we are trying to insert here, insert into this particular target table, we are inserting it. We need to insert into this target table means this target table should be already available in our database. If not available, create the target table with these 4 columns, EMP number, salary, commission, and total salary. And values we are passing as row.emp number. What do you mean by row.emp number is whatever we have iterate rows, we are capturing into the row. That row.emp number, whatever we have, row.salary, row.commission, row.total salary, we're passing to here. Once everything is inserted, finally we are committing it so that the database will be commits. Then we are closing the cursor. Then we are closing the connection also, we are closing. And we are displaying a response also, we are displaying like ETL completed, something like that, we are responding here. Okay, if you want to know more information, like how many rows really it is inserted, you can write here, okay, select count star from this one, and the result we can able to capture into one variable. That variable we can pass to this HTTP response, you can able to pass it. Okay, time being, I think you understand this code, whatever available, we understand. Let us observe our notes back. I'm asking to change this ETL code as it is. We did it. And also add 2 imports in the top of the file. After the import, logging import, whatever available below that one, we need to import it. I think we already completed these things. We added these 2 things we added just now. Then we need to save this file we are asking. Let us go and try to save it. So this file, whatever available, we need to save it. Control S so that this will be saved. This will be saved. Now we saved, then we're trying to close it. We don't want that function app, we don't want it. Then one more file is available here. That file is called as, go to the Explorer window. There we can notice we have one more file, requirements.txt file is available. So in our virtual environment, we need to install some functions, means you need to have that functions modules here. So we need here a module that is called as, these two modules are extra, we need it. So copy these two modules and try to make sure we are entering here below this Azure functions, we are entering it. Okay, so once you did it, again this one also you try to save it. So you can see here one unsaved items are available. Any unsaved items are available before your deployment, please make sure you need to save it everything. Okay, any unsaved is available, that's it. It won't be deployed, that file, up to whatever content it is saved, that part only will be deployed. I'm trying to save it. I'm making sure there is no unsaved count is seeing here. Okay, this file also we completed now. Next, under workspace, click on the deploy to Azure. That's it. And once you deploy to the Azure, before running, we're also creating the target table. We're creating it. Okay, we'll do that one. So we need to deploy to Azure. Let me close this file also. We don't want it. Now, we changed here hardly two files. We changed it. One file called as functionapp.py file. We changed it. Okay, we added our code, whatever we want it. We added our code. So this welcome thing, nothing we changed it. Only our ETL derived column, whatever available, we changed it. We connected to our database. We got the one table data, and we have the freedom. This code you can write maybe 2 or 3 tables tomorrow. You want it. You want to join. Okay, and you want to do some other calculation, substring, in-string, whatever you want to use it. You use it and get the beautified result that you can capture into the query. Okay, up to you, whatever you wanted. You don't want to do this kind of things also here itself. You can write direct query, you can write it emp number, you want it, what are the columns you are looking for here, emp number, salary, commission, total salary, right? Same thing you can write directly here, like okay, we want here emp number, okay, comma, salary, comma, commission, comma, we want here salary plus, okay, and if it is null, if null of commission, then provide here 0. You try to provide something logic also, you can able to write here, so that there is no need of this Python related things not required. You have the freedom, basically you have the freedom here, whatever query you want you can write here. That means all the transformation logics also, if you want to handle the SQL level here itself, you can go ahead and you can handle it. But you want to get the raw data, you want to get it from the table. Once you got the raw data, on top of the raw data, you want to do Python functions you want to apply. Yes, you have the freedom, you can able to do it. Okay, whichever you feel comfort, like SQL, you are feeling comfort, you do in the SQL level. You are feeling comfort in the Python, you do in the Python level. Okay, everything is, you have the freedom. Now go to the deploy here. Let's say we are going here. Then we have the option called as deploy. Before deploying, you cannot see these functions under our function. We are not able to see it. This is our Azure portal, nothing but. In the portal, what you see is here what you are going to see it. So before deploying, you are not going to see one more function. Let us go and try to deploy it. Then the moment you click it, then it is asking here what is the subscription. Then we are selecting the subscription. Then we are selecting our app. Then you can see in the bottom loading the deployment, and we are going to get one warning message. Are you sure you want to deploy? Click on deploy. Then once this deployment is complete, one moment. Yeah, once this deployment is complete, you'll see here it's succeeded, something like that message you're going to see it. Okay, it will take 1 or 2 minutes. Meanwhile, we can move on to the next step and we complete that step. So here we have the next step is create the target table. If you have the target table, then only I can able to insert it. If this is not available, then go and try to create it. Copy this code and go to your database. Okay, I think this is our database. We have here query editor. Even creating this table also, if you want to include inside our function, you can do it, but it's a one-time activity, right? That is the reason I did not include it. This is waiting for 60 seconds. Meanwhile, this is logging in. Yeah, this deployment is succeeded. Okay, this deployment is if it is succeeded, if you go here in the top, there is an option called as refresh. If you click on the refresh, or if you right click in the functions, you click on the refresh, you'll see here one more function also you are going to see it. Click on the refresh. Under the functions, now we are seeing here one more function we are seeing HTTP trigger ETL derived. That means it is properly deployed into the portal. If you want, you can go on, you can observe in the portal it is deployed or not. And server is not currently available. Okay, this is because it may be in the sleep mode. So now it will work. Okay, now it is working. Now this is a table I want to create it. In my case, it may be available. If it is available, just try to drop it because of uh, previous batches or whatever it is. If it is created, first we are trying to drop this table. If it is already available, then we are trying to create it. Let's try to drop it. If it is available, it is going to drop it. Looks like it is not there. Okay, that's cool. We are trying to create a table. Now we create the table, and if you see any rows are available inside this one, do we have any rows? Do you have any rows? No. It is a empty table just now we created, so we'll not have any rows inside this one. Click on run. Now we can observe rows are available 0. Now through function, we are going to insert some rows into this one. We are going to insert it. Through function, we are going to insert some rows inside this one. Okay, we are going for home. Then go to our function app. Under function app, now we'll see functions. We have two functions are available here. One is welcome, second is ETL. Now you can notice here welcome function is available and it is enabled. Second is ETL derived column also available. And the trigger type is HTTP trigger, what we used it. Okay, this one, click on it, and you can notice here we got the code and code plus test. Under the code plus test, make sure all the code, whatever you written over there, those all things are available here or not. So you can notice everything is available. This is what the code, what you written. Even just now I written the comment line, derived column transformation, something like that, that also came here. That's how you can make sure all the lines of code, whatever you written over there, it's came here or not. Okay, once it is available here, also click on the get function URL so that we are going to get the URL, we are going to get it. Copy the master key. We copied it. Close this one. And also click on the logs so that logs will be connected. Some reason while you're executing this one, if any problems are there, those all problems we can able to observe here. Okay, right. Now we need to go to one browser. Let me go and try to take the browser. Now in this browser, we are trying to paste it here. Let's try to execute this one. I'm executing it. Okay, HTTP trigger, ETL derived columns we executed. Now, wow, beautiful. Now what it's saying, the message it's saying as ETL completed. The message it's saying as ETL completed means whatever lines of code we written, each and every line executed successfully, right? If it is executed successfully, if I go to the database, previously I executed, I got the rows is equal to 0. Now if I go and try to execute this one, I should be able to see the number of rows are 14 or 15. We are going to see it. Wow, beautiful. Now we can observe this result also here. Show results. We have here salary, commission, total salary, we got it properly. But something is happened to employee number. We got here star. That means employee number is not populated properly. Employee number not populated properly. But the salary and commission populated properly. Why it happened like this? We need to research and we have to adjust our code. We have to adjust it. Can you guess it? What is the problem maybe? Can you guess it? What is the problem maybe?
Maybe the header, or do we have
Maybe
to?
some data type
Yeah, that may be the
configuration.
issue I'm thinking. Employee number I provide here as a varchar, that may be making some trouble. Let us make this as a integer. Okay, actually it is a integer. So let us try to drop this table again. We are trying to drop this table, run it, and we are trying to create this table again. We are trying to create this table again, run it. Now go to here and try to run this function once again. We are trying to run this function once again. You can notice this is running. This is running. Yeah, now running is completed. It's saying as ETL completed. Now go back to the database and observe what is the data we have here. Let's try to say as a click run. Now after running, wow, beautiful. Now we're able to see employee number also properly available. Employee number also properly available. I'll correct the notes also accordingly. So employee number I given as a varchar here, that is wrong. So let's try to provide this as integer, or you make this code itself as ename. Anything is okay. In this code, we are trying to say as the employee number we're capturing, right? Instead of employee number, let's make this as ename. This also will try to make this as a ename. Okay, and we'll try to make this as a ename. Ename is more readable, so we're trying to make this as a ename. We're trying to make it. This is what the changes we need to do it. I did the changes. You whenever you are trying to do it now, instead of the employee number, you'll see the ename. We are going to see it. You got my point? We're capturing the ename. We're capturing to the ename. We're capturing. Okay, and that ename is the column we are trying to create here. That is a varchar. Cool. Now, this is how we completed the ETL. This one I want to call through the ADF. I want to call it similar to the
But
yesterday how we
professor,
called it.
but
Mhm.
with the ename varchar, it didn't run right previously. We changed it to int, right?
EMP
Because
number,
it was
EMP
having.
number, EMP number. I given the varchar. It did not run.
Okay.
Okay. Ename means it will run. Ename is a string, right? String means string only we need to provide. Now we can open this ADF and we want to call that function. You want to call it. You can able to call it. Let it open. Yeah. Create here a pipeline. We want the new pipeline. And in this pipeline, take the activity as Azure functions activity. We need to take it. Let us try to drag and drop this Azure functions activity. And inside this activity, we have here settings. Then select here. Already we have our Azure functions one, right? You can go and you can capture it. Or else if you want to create the new one, you can create the new one also, whatever you want it. Yesterday you created this one. You can use it. I think Azure uh, functions ls we created, I think. Okay, if you want, you can able to use it. And if you confirm this is really is ours or not, then you can click on here, open in the Azure portal, then the directly will take you to that place it is going to take you to. Or you can click on edit and you can observe here, okay, this is our function app URL, and these are the function keys what you passed it. Okay, now If you want to pass here, our function name is what? You can pass the function name. You can notice our function name is this is what our function name. So copy this one and paste here. That's it. Now we have to go for here. It is a post method. To be honest, nothing we are really passing any body part. We are not passing it. We are not giving inputs as any inputs. We are not giving it. If you want to maintain dynamic code, for example, source table name or target table name, anything you want to maintain dynamic, you can pass the yesterday how you pass the name is equal to ram. Similarly, you can pass in the body part. At this point of time, we are not passing anything. Then click on here debug. If you a valid body is required for put and post requests. It's expecting something. So we are not passing really any keys and values. So just we are putting floor bracket open, floor bracket close. But inside that one, there is no keys and there is no values. Now it is executing. It's saying as in progress and all. If everything goes good, then it should execute properly and we should see the response is equal to ETL completed. That's what the response are going to see it. Because we configured ETL complete only we configured. Okay. This is executed and if you observe, wow, beautiful. Now it's saying as ETL completed, we got as a response. This response, if you want to capture in further, in other variable you want to capture for other functionalities purpose, yes, you can go ahead and you can do that one. Am I clear? Now, your skill will be writing this code basically. This framework is common. Whatever we have the framework, this framework is common. Your skill is under the define function. Under this define function, we are writing a code we are writing, right? This code connection string to here, whatever code we written. This is your skill actually. This is your skill. How much you are strong with the Python, that much effectively we can able to write here. Nothing is impossible in Python because it's an open language. Okay, whatever you want, the corresponding functions will be available. So any ETL you want to do it. We are any transformation you want to do it. Everything is possible inside the Python. Only thing is you have to do a bit of searching and copy paste the code here. That's it. Anyone has any particular questions on this one? If no, then I'm going to stop with the Azure function. That's what I want to cover inside the Azure functions. Now, call this Azure functions in the ADF. We complete this one. Some questions we have here, how to return list as Azure functions output, one activity. This is the code, what we are writing it. Just try to paste this code and observe we are able to write it or not. Under the logging.info, you try to paste this code and observe it. And also second question we have here, how to return data frame as Azure function output. Okay, now we are trying to return here directly data frame, we are writing it. Some reason. This one, if you want to capture into the variable and further you want to process it, you can do the process. So two activities also provided here. Please go ahead and try to implement these two functions also inside our VS Code. Now, next is, this is serverless. This is serverless means, did you created any server in this process? Windows server or Linux server, something you create anything here? No, right? No. That's reason this is called as in the beginning itself we are saying as Azure Functions is a cloud service available on demand that provides all the continuously updated infrastructure and resources needed to run our applications. So we are not deciding what infrastructure we wanted, those all things. It is a purely serverless based on your code what you written. Based on your code what you written, system automatically installs those all things. In my
Yeah, sir.
case, I need here
Is this
Python. Yeah.
yeah, is this equivalent to AWS Lambda? this Azure functions?
Yeah, you can take like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, this is serverless. So we are least bother about what server we want it. It's a Windows or Linux or what server we want it. We are least bother about it. Now, one question people may be asking, we have uh, next chapter is available that is called as batch account. Let me open this batch account. So we have here batch account. I given very clearly here, no need to practice, only read exercise I given. No need to practice, only read exercise I given. So let us observe here what we are writing it. Review MSFT help document for more information. So go and try to open this one. So run a batch job through data factory with batch explorer, storage explorer and Python, something like that. All we are trying to do here is overall, we are trying to create here one batch account. Observe here the whenever we are creating the batch account, what is selected here? Data science. Under below that one, what is selected? DSVM Windows 2019 you are selecting. That means you are selecting your server or not. That means you are selecting your server or not. What server you want it, we are trying to select it. Data science VM Windows 2019 server, we are selecting it. Okay, and we are deciding how many nodes you want it, 2 nodes you want it. Okay, what is the virtual machine size you want it? Okay, F2 is the virtual machine size you want it. And what is the command lines you want to install? Those all things we are exclusively we are providing it. Because of this one, you use or you are not using doesn't matter. You are using or not using doesn't matter. This is available in your system means this will be chargeable. It is reserved for you. It is reserved for you. That means dedicated server is available for you. But whereas Azure functions means there is no dedicated server available for you. Whenever you are triggered, then servers will be created for you. Whenever the process completed, servers automatically decommissioned so that how much time it is running, that much only you are going to pay it. But if you go for this batch account kind of thing, it will be physical server is allocated for you. Due to that reason, the charges will be more. Why I
Professor,
given this
can
as
you
a
show us how much is charged for us right now? Like we'll be getting some idea like how it will charge, how much it will charge for
that I
us.
cannot tell now. Tomorrow we can see the um, we have one link, right?
Mhm.
Microsoft Azure usage. If you go for the usage details, then against to this Azure functions, how much is available, that much is charged like that. So one subscription, I think immediately it will not update here. It will take some time to update this. So this is Azure for students. Now Azure functions, are you seeing anywhere Azure functions? Azure functions, Azure functions.
Yes, Professor,
Yeah,
I saw just now Azure
functions
functions.
on demand, total execution is at this point of time it's saying at 0. There is a reason also, maybe we are using the free services, right? Under the free services there is a um, up to, I think 1 million kind of thing is a free, it is there, right? Under the free services they given up to certain limits are available. Control F, then go for the function. Yeah, this one, up to this limit they will not give any charges for you.
So 1 million request means we just ran that Azure function one time. So it is considered as one request, right?
May not be true, may not be true. So in that request, in that code, you written some code, right? One is for reading the data from database, that may be one call.
Can you show
You are
us, Professor, if you don't mind? Like we'll be understanding better like that in the in
no,
our
no.
code only.
in our code, once you call this one, internally what you are doing, that is matters. So for example, here we are trying to read the SQL. This query we are executing using this connection, we are reading it, right? That may be one call.
Okay,
Okay,
so in
we are
the
trying to
jobs you
fill
mean.
the commission with the zero, we are filling it. That is a one more call.
Okay, so that means in a code it doesn't matter. Like it depends on the tasks, like how many tasks you have mentioned. So
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
up
yeah,
to 1 million, right? The task.
yeah. That's right. That's right. But 1 million is for training room. It is too much. Okay, that many things we may not be doing it for learning purpose. Okay, so that is reason only. Though we are working in the functions, nothing is charged here. It's saying as $0. It's saying. Okay, right. Now I think we are good enough. So overall, what I want to say is we do have in the area of similar to the Azure functions, we have the batch account also available. Like see the batch service, you can take this custom. Inside this custom, you can pass the Azure batch account. You can able to pass it. But Azure batch account is not recommended. Is not recommended because dedicated server is required over there. In place of the Azure batch account, you try to use Azure functions. You try to use it. Azure functions is a serverless. That's what I mean here in this chapter. But go through this line by line. What we are trying to do here is overall create a Python code to write output into blob. So we are creating a data frame. We are creating it. This data frame data we are trying to write into the blob. We are writing it. That's what this code is doing all. Okay. If you want to, if you have a lot of credits are available, if you want to test once, you can go ahead and you can test it once. Maybe $3 or $4 will be consumed. Thereafter, immediately clean up. Cleanup is very important. You are not clean upping, then it's a problem. You see here in the last section in this one also, very clearly they're saying as clean up the resources. So batch accounts, jobs and tasks are free, but compute nodes include charges even when they are not running the jobs. It's the best to allocate node pools only as needed and delete the pools when you are done with them. Deleting pools deletes all task output on the nodes and the nodes themselves. Okay, so you need to delete the pools. That is not nothing but server dedicatedly whatever it is assigned that we are trying to delete it. Then you may ask here one question: when what are the situations are forcing to go for the batch job instead of the Azure functions? Azure functions are very good if you want to do the task. Okay, which is going to take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. Okay, it is very good. And batch jobs are very good if it's a huge amount of data you want to move. Huge amount of data you want to move. At that moment, you can look for the batch job, you can look for it. But however, nowadays, if you take the percentage wise, 95% of the people are using Azure functions only. Batch accounts, no one is using it almost. Most of the things we're able to handle using Azure functions. Am I clear? So that's what this chapter all about. Please go through this one. I clearly given no need to practice. Just try to do the read exercise only.
Professor, this
And
video is
and also
available,
Google
right?
it. Yeah, and also Google it. Azure functions versus Azure batch account. Something like that. You try to Google it. This is one of the important question also. Okay, while both Azure functions and Azure batch accounts are cloud-based compute services in Azure, the key difference is that Azure function is designed for running small event-driven tasks with quick execution times, while Azure batch is specifically for managing large-scale parallel computing jobs, recurring significant processing power, and blah blah blah. That's what the difference between these two things. But whatever internal code we are writing Python code, Azure functions, Azure batch, both are writing it. Only cost purpose we are thinking means first priority goes to Azure functions. Some reason you are not able to handle the situation using Azure functions, then you can take as a second priority Azure batch. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have next one. Let's go for next one that is called as logic apps. I think tomorrow I'll come up with this logic apps and we'll try to learn this logic apps. It's very important one. Once our flow is completed, we are expecting to send or receive the mails. The sending and receiving the mails is possible using this logic apps. We'll try to implement this one in tomorrow's class. Thank you.
Sir, did class happen yesterday?
No. Yesterday class not happened.
Okay.
Um,
Monday, did it happen, sir? Because I couldn't attend since last Wednesday.